does have a valid permit to carry out in Dakota County. 110-9. Got eyes on him. I'm at the 140 corner. Just getting off of it. Let's just pour it in. Give us a bunch of light when you take that. Kind of a flanking position here if you were to just pull in the driveway. Cigarette pointing in, looks like falling together.
What Steve said.
156, 128. I'm just coming into Harris. If you want to hold, I'll be with you shortly. He sees you. He's sticking his hands up. I'm just going to give him commands right now. Call the thing. He's going to send it when the picture's vehicle. One time he's complying with commands.
What's in his...
Yeah, my mother.
You said your dad's in his room still?
I'm not sure now. But
Okay, where's his room?
Came outside, upstairs, last door on the left.
Okay.
Let's just get the weapons addressed quick, Garcia, and then so I'll just hold here if you wanna take those out. Get a QD mount on the AR. So.
Okay.
Is everything loaded, Derek?
Yes, the one in my front waistband has one in the chamber.
Okay.
If you could remove the holster along with
Okay.
that.
Well, yeah, we're just gonna take everything off you for now, just for our safety and everybody else's safety.
Yeah, no problem.
Since you had expressed everybody else, wanting to wait until people with guns get in here, we're here now. Okay?
Yep.
So you're good.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, just don't move.
The ones in the back pocket don't have one in the chamber.
Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna take your rifle. Does this have a sling here?
It's got a QD quick attachment on both sides. If you want to just press that button, then the sling will detach.
You said neither pistol has one in the chamber,
Yep,
correct?
that's correct.
Okay.
Just the one in my front waistband.
Garcia, just for your safety, why don't you just do cuffs real quick? And
Okay.
then
Sure, if you want, you want me to move it over?
Okay. You can put your cigarette on the ground.
we'll let you light another one in a second, okay? Dude?
Let me just get this AR. I'm gonna get this off first before I clip them.
So there's a QD attachment on the stock. If you press the little button where the strap attaches to the stock, you just press it in and it'll detach.
This lever.
There's a little button that you
gotcha.
press in.
Yep.
Then it'll just come right off and then you can pull it off with me.
Was that loaded? Was there one chambered for that?
Not chambered, no.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you just do...
Okay, go ahead and put your
Derek, you're just going to be detained for a safety
Yep,
reason.
no problem.
Okay.
hands behind your back, knuckles together.
Derek,
Can you-
it all you need,
can you-
I don't think so. I'm a little bit, adrenaline, everything.
Hey, just
If
loosen
you
up
could
here.
Look at
Loosen
my
up.
face, you punched me in the eye and the left eye.
Alright, so at this point, you're not under arrest. You are just being
Yep,
detained
I
for...
think so. Yep. Do I can roll over it all?
Stay right there for 1 second.
Derek, can I put these weapons in your vehicle for the time being?
Yes.
Put them next to the mountain and all that.
My car's locked, I believe. I got my key in my front pocket.
Okay. And then stay there. And then I'm gonna roll you over on this side, okay? On the count of
roll
3,
to
and
the
then I'm
left.
gonna grab your pistol, okay?
Yep.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so the one in the waistband, if you could remove the holster with it. Yep, just kind of pull up on that clip, and that one has one in the chamber.
And then where's the other one?
Front right pocket. That one's in
How is that
a
one?
little pocket holster. It has a safety on it. There's one in the chamber.
It has a holster in there.
Yep, there's a holster in there, and then that
This
one
one
has
has
a
one in the
safety on
chamber?
it and one in the chamber.
Okay, stand by.
You can go ahead and roll back down.
Vehicle.
Any
Derek,
knives
you
or
okay if I
anything?
just put these in your car?
There could be a pocket knife in my front left pocket.
Okay.
Do you have the keys to the car
Yep,
with you?
it's in my front left pocket.
Okay. Oop. And your dad doesn't have any weapons?
No, he's very against guns. That's part of what his issue is.
Okay. There's that.
Let's get him up on his feet so he's not getting soaked.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna roll you on your side on the count of 3 towards me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you can tuck your knees to your chest. What's this? What is this?
Wallet,
Okay.
some magazines, my keys are in there. I got 3 different magazines in there if you guys want to take those out.
Sit him up.
Okay. Hang on up on your butt.
Alright, tuck this foot in right here. Nope, the other way. Okay, I'm gonna push you up to your knees, alright?
Ready?
1, 2, 3, up to your knee, and now just stand up.
Okay. Your car keys, left pocket.
Left pocket
Put
over
that
there.
on lock so you can secure the guns.
Alright. You got weapons on here?
Nope.
You got the knife too.
If I had a knife, I don't always carry it, but
Okay. Is your mom aware of what happened?
yeah, kind of. I don't know if she knows that he punched me, but
Okay.
she was downstairs trying to not be a part of it. In the left eye.
You got any other weapons on him? He's complying with you? We can take those out.
You understand why we had
Oh,
to
yeah, completely.
kind of
Walk him
go
down.
that way?
Yep. Good. And then let's go down this way, and then I'll get you out of these cuffs. Okay? Okay. Which side? Left side. Left side. Yep. You go ahead and stand right there. Okay, I'm gonna release your right hand. When I do, leave your hand at the small of your back. You understand? And same with your left. You understand? All right. You can go ahead and take a seat in here if you want. I know it's
If they're not sitting back.
okay. It's just cold. You got your
I'm fine.
Okay. All right. As long as you're fine, then just let me know if that changes. Okay. We can stand in front here just so we got a little bit more light. Okay. I'm sorry, I missed your name. What was your name?
Derek.
Derek?
Derek.
Okay. I'm Marcy with the Sheriff's Office, obviously. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what happened tonight? Like what was said and...
I mean, he's been aggravated since yesterday when politics came up last night, kind of arguing about some of the stuff with the election.
Okay.
It ended up continuing on this morning a bit. I left to go work at about 5, came back at like 10:30, and I mean, he drinks every day, so now he's all drunk, he's still stewing about it. He comes slamming on my door and he's telling me, I want you out of my fucking house in 48 hours and throwing all your shit out. And
Okay.
I'm like, fine, do what you want to do. I said, go down and file the eviction paperwork. I mean, if that's how you feel.
Okay.
It's your house, your rules.
Okay, you said he hit your left eye?
Yeah, he punched me in the left eye. He took a swing at me a couple other times. I think he only made contact once.
Okay. Did you hit him back or
Nope.
anything? So it was just he punched you, you said a few times?
He swung at me, I believe, 3 times. I think he only made contact once.
And that was to your left eye?
Yes.
Okay. And your mom was nowhere, and she didn't hear or see anything?
They were both, she was sleeping when I got home, then he started screaming and yelling.
Okay.
She went downstairs. He just keeps coming back. I was loading up my magazines in my room, and he just keeps coming back, yelling different insults and stuff at me, and just keeps telling him, look, calm down, and do what you're gonna do.
Have you guys
Just
had
yelling
any
and
issues
screaming.
before this, or was it
I mean,
just...
when I was younger.
Okay.
I mean, he's really irritated that I got evicted last January, and then they took me in, and it's been a bit of a struggle to move back out. Try to find a place that I can live, a place that'll accept me.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's been frustrated with that the whole time. More so when I first moved in around January, you know, just grumpy all the time, kind of frustrated, saying kind of things, but not real aggressive.
So this was the first time that you guys have had an incident like this?
I mean, since I was way younger.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like my partner is going to go try and get his side of the story. Would you be willing to do a recorded statement saying that what happened? Okay. 128.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to do this, then you're going to have to face the consequences.
Did he say with it? Can you go again?
Screaming and yelling all this stuff from growing marijuana in there. Everything's completely legal. I have less than 8 plants. I don't have more than 2 pounds of marijuana. He was screaming and yelling to tell the cops that you're growing pot in my house and all this stuff. Told him it's not illegal.
Yeah.
They smoke pot too, so that is kind of I don't even get what you're getting at.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I'm gonna wait till see what my partner says with what's your dad's name?
Craig Hammersmith.
Craig?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see what happens with him, and then we'll go from there.
Mind if I get another cigarette out of my car?
Yeah, that's maybe not right now. They're taking care of your weapons right now. Quite the collection there.
More inside.
Yeah.
And they're, the majority of them are 3D printed too.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Do you do that here?
I have, since I moved in with them.
Okay.
He doesn't like it. I mean, it's my Second Amendment right, so.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I do a variety of different things. I work for a company in St. Paul called Roof to Deck RTD Services.
Okay.
I just started with them doing snow removal for the winter. I'm running my own business, selling 3D prints, kind of knick-knacky art type stuff. Don't make a lot off of it.
So, what parts are you 3D printing?
As far as the firearms?
Yeah.
The frames.
The frames. Okay.
Yes.
So everything else is.
Yeah, you buy the parts online.
Okay.
You can buy AR-15 uppers. I printed AR-15 lowers. I printed Glock lowers. That's it so far. I got a Glock 17, Glock 19, Glock 26, AR-15, AR-9, AR-10.
Okay.
All 3D printed.
What got you into that stuff?
Well, the pandemic happened. I was actually on probation at the time. The riots kind of freaked me out, and so I got into guns through that. As soon as I got my gun rights back, I went and bought some guns.
What do you mean got your gun rights back?
I was prohibited while I was on probation in 2020.
Okay, what were you on probation for?
I got caught with a small amount of hash oil in 2018.
Okay.
So,
Where at?
In Chisago County here, actually,
Chisago
by a
County.
state trooper on 35, just north of the Harris exit, by
Okay.
the rest stop over there. So, I'm happy that things are legal now.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I guess we're just gonna hang out here until we talk to your dad and see what's going on. What would you like done today? Obviously,
Well, assault, you go to jail for. You're not.
that's what.
And then you gotta go to court.
Okay.
So, if he's gonna do that, then he needs to face the consequences.
So you're gonna give your statement. Okay. Okay.
I would assume that he would do the same if I assaulted him.
Okay. Any other questions from me?
Not really.
Are you doing okay? Are you sure you don't want to sit down in the squad?
Yeah.
You don't like the squad?
I'm just trying to get my life back together. I mean,
Yeah.
you may have your different opinions about politics, but shit's been kind of rough over the last 4 years. Well, that's part of what this argument is about. I hated Trump when he was president before.
Sure.
I bought into all that.
Yeah.
They can't believe that I would vote for Trump now.
Sure.
I mean, we all have the right to our own opinion, right?
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Are you going to take a statement or
Yeah.
going to?
Yep, I can do that.
Okay.
And then I don't. He said that he 3D prints guns. But what about all those?
So we'll have to make a statement from you with the team and talk about that.
Okay.
So your statement, you know, talk about that.
I guess I can make another statement about it at one point.
Yeah, we're gonna get a full recorded statement,
Okay.
so we'll do
Just
that.
one thing about it real quick. He had made some statement at some point about just shoot me. He was telling me to shoot him. That's part of why I took all of the guns with me.
Okay. Your dad was asking you
Yeah,
to
he
shoot
had
him.
said that at one point. He said, just shoot me. And I
Okay.
said, so now you're asking me to kill you.
Okay.
And he
he's-
said,
you
yeah.
said he's been drinking?
Yeah.
Have you been drinking at all
No,
tonight?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Let me grab my phone and then I'll get a recorded statement from you and then we'll go from there, okay?
That's one more, but I think probably get it.
Oh. Hey.
156, 141, Axon. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said he wants him arrested. He said he swung at him 3 times, made contact once to his left eye. Okay. You're good to stay up front there.
Yeah, just keep thinking of stuff.
Okay, yep.
My mom came up at one point when he swung at me again.
No.
She should have seen that.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so she was present for the whole interaction. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any obvious, anything obvious right now, but possibly he kind of has dark eyes, like around both of his eyes, but possibly something on, oh no, that's the right eye, so. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, but I'm gonna have him give a recorded statement of everything that took place tonight. He's got some other stuff going on. It sounds like here you'll touch base with Reggie. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks, bye. We're gonna do the recorded statement. Or do you just wanna do that? Okay.
Copy, checking 522.
Hang on and relax your arms.
And you don't have any other weapons on you or anything, man? No pocket knives, nothing? Just a wallet here? Holster? Just a pocket holster?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have put them on it already.
Gotcha. I'll go put this fire and then go ahead and take a seat.
Yep, and then just to the side here, you can go ahead and take a seat. Good? Yep.
Yeah. So I just told her that get the statement and then detain him.
Yeah, I just wanted to get him in. Mom and Dad are yelling, doing their thing.
Sure.
So it's Steve, babysit the gun or somebody, I don't know who.
So basically the two small
Yep. So yeah, he told me 3D printing uppers and other parts, and yeah, he said he does it here.
States any person who possesses a firearm without, which is non-serialized, a felony. These 3 in AR is non-serialized.
Yep. Yeah. So I was looking at these. I initially thought these were polymer 80s or something, but these are way
They're homemade.
more crude.
Wow. Yeah.
So he's 3D printing them here.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's got the whatever, but piecing
Well,
it together is the problem.
That is going to solve the issue for tonight because he's saying he was punched in the face. Dad's got no offensive wounds. He has no injury to suggest.
What is Dad saying?
Basically, Dad's saying they were at each other's, at odds with each other. There was some mutual shoving. Kid's been walking around carrying a gun around all day, making some kind of
Like vague comments?
vague comments. Yep. And then Dad got sick of it. Son kept kind of trying to come out of his room, kind of getting after Dad. Dad just kept closing the door and trying to just keep him in his room.
Right.
So
Well, we'll
Keep him
take-
in his room. He said he went to work today.
no, I mean like tonight. Like
Oh.
he kept like coming at Dad.
Oh,
and
okay.
Dad just closing the door.
Okay.
Dad doesn't feel comfortable with him just walking around the house with guns all day. Stating all he wants to do is just grow weed and
Yeah.
talk crazy stuff. So
Let me go make a phone call here. If he's printing his own, I don't know if investigations would be interested in a warrant.
Yeah, he said once he was off probation, he just started printing guns because
what was he on probation for?
possession of hemp oil or something by state on 35 in Chisago County.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna let the parents kind of know what's going on. Shoot. But we can.
Photos?
What's that?
Photos?
No, we can hold off on the photos. We'll do it in the evidence locker.
So he's off probation now.
Yep.
So when you're on. So now he's not a prohibited possessor.
Just being on probation in and of itself wouldn't make you
Okay.
prohibited.
No, I wonder why he said he was.
Oh, if he was on for felony, that would do it.
But is possession?
So if it was prior to August 1st of last
Oh,
year,
yeah, it was.
and it was like wax,
Yep.
that would have been a felony. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like just the lowers. These three, and then
This one is the same. It looks like it's an actual clock magazine.
do we see any switches? That'd be crazy. No switch. Oh yeah, this lower is printed too. Huh.
I wonder if he's got more in the house.
He does.
He does.
Yeah. So we'll probably. Wow. Did you notice any bruising on his eye?
Not him.
Yeah. It's like darker, but I think that's just the way his eyes are.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Just curious.
$128, $136. Also, just be advised, he said he had a lot more guns in the house as well. If he was charged with a felony, he would still stay a prohibited possessor, wouldn't he? Even off of probation.
I'd have to go back and look, but I think it either expires at some point or he can petition the court
Okay.
to be removed. I think it depends on the level of, what felony he was originally charged with, but I'd have to go back and double check on that.
Okay.
depending on how they charged it. So chapter 152, which is the narcotic stuff, unless 3 years have elapsed since the date of conviction. Did you say when it was?
Probably.
We can have dispatch run a crime history too.
They are.
Oh, they are.
Um, That worm's coming for you.
You saw that. He's instantly close. What's the news?
I was hoping you were going to say, what's the word?
Ooh,
The response to that is bird. Bird's the word.
bird is the word.
So he does have like 4 3D printers in there. One of them's definitely big enough to print a receiver on. Dad showed me. I don't think any of that's going to be admissible.
Sure.
But Dad did say, yeah, he has talked about 3D printing guns, and Dad did tell me he's got 4 3D printers in there. He also has an eBay site where he sells trinkets and other knickknacks, but they didn't know the name of his page or anything like
Sure.
that for eBay.
So all the printers are in his room?
Yes. Well, they're in a room.
A room.
So there's multiple bedrooms inside the house. Dad sleeps in one, Mom sleeps in another. But then he's basically taken over multiple rooms in the house. One he sleeps in, and one he's got like all his grow equipment in. There's multiple 3D printers in there and whatnot. So he's been growing and selling pot for his mom and dad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A couple plants? Or did you not?
I didn't see any plants in there. They said he had about 12 at one point last year, but they were out back, and he's drunk. He's pretty drunk, yeah. So they're not sure what he still has here at the house or what he has on the property.
Okay.
But yeah,
This one took an interesting turn, huh?
yeah. Well, that the initiation of this was a bit of a shit show. I just started giving him commands as you were rolling in because he was
sent it in because Reggie told me to wait, and then I was at that point. I should
he
have just
already,
rolled
he already
up.
saw it. Like
Yeah.
when he saw your
Yeah.
lights go on, he just did this.
Yeah.
So I just started giving him commands at that
Yeah.
point. He had a cigarette in one hand and a pack of smokes and a phone in the
That
other.
was
So you
my bad. I should have just committed there.
no. I mean, it is what it is. You got one person telling you one thing and one person telling you another.
It was just unfortunate timing because you were about to pull in and I just said hold up. So, I mean, that's just the way things happen. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, and I mean, where I was at, I don't know if you could see where I started from, but I was behind that tree right there in a flanking
nice.
position.
Did he
so
know that you were?
He had no clue I was in there.
Nice.
Nope. Nope. So I literally, I didn't quite low crawl, but there's that ditch line over there. I just hunkered down in the ditch line, worked my way. There's this mound system there.
Yeah.
So I used that for cover, concealment, and then made my way to that tree over there.
Sweet. How'd you know the tree was there?
I don't know. I just as I got closer.
Sure.
Cover this way.
I could see lights in the house, so I could see that
A
there's
little bit of
something,
ambient.
backlighting
Gotcha.
basically.
Gotcha.
So
Nice.
spidey sense. Just kidding. But I would have liked to have probably brought a rifle, but yeah. At that point, I was already out of the car, though. I was
Right.
like, when they said he's got multiple guns on him and one slung, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not losing ground at this point, especially since I've
Right.
already gained that good cover from this guy in firm.
So when did the physical stuff happen? If Mom was trying to calm it down the whole time.
They've just been, apparently, it sounds like he's kind of been instigating with Dad about the my rights, the Trump stuff, something along those lines, I presume.
On top of that, he wants him out of the house. He said
He
he was going
wants
to
him out of
start
the house
the eviction
Because
process.
he's not working, he's always on his case about that. Apparently, about a year ago, I think, or 10 months ago, one of his friends killed himself with one of his guns, too. So, and that's apparently in a bad place, so they have to let him move back in. But he hasn't really been holding up his side of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been contributing anything to the.
Where did the altercation happen?
So it sounds like, according to Dad, it was literally he normally just sits down in his room, but tonight it sounds like he was just trying to be a pain in the ass to Dad. He was like loading mags, kept the door open with the lights on. So
Did it happen down in his room?
no, so Derek was in his bedroom. Dad kept trying to close the door. Derek kept trying to open the door.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
So
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Alright, sounds good. Bye. Alright, Daly's coming out. He lawyered up, I asked for consent, he lawyered up, he's like, it's not illegal to print firearms. I said, well, it is. Once you piece it together. And he's like, well, that's news to me, I want an attorney. So, okay.
So he's got at least four 3D printers in there. Dad said that he has mentioned printing guns in there before. He's also, they're not sure what he's got on the property for growing marijuana, but they've stated that he's been basically growing and selling weed. They said at one point last year he had about 12 plants out back on the property.
Okay.
They don't know what, if anything, he's got here now, but in the room where he's got a lot of his equipment, there is a considerable amount of grow stuff in there.
Okay.
So, unclear though, it's probably a place where he would have a reasonable expectation of privacy. It's not a common area of the house.
Yeah, we're getting a warrant.
Yeah, so.
So, Garcia, if you want to pull your squad up, we're going to collect even the one with the serial number for the time being. Granted, the other four are the crimes. We'll collect that. There's no DNA that we're concerned about here.
Yep. Okay.
So, honestly, like the back of your car is fine. They're all cleared right now. We'll put all the ammo and mags in bags, and we'll get you headed out of here with him.
Okay.
The ammo and mags they're not evidentiary, right? They're just safekeeping?
Technically, yes.
Safekeeping?
Yeah, technically there's no crime.
Just,
the
but
ammo.
we're
The
just
ammo.
taking them
Was
because
he-
they're with...
Correct, yeah.
What was his crime? Is he prohibited possessor right now?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
So it's
so it's just felonies for this, and then we're concerned about what else is in here.
okay. Just curious. I asked him about it, and he admitted to it. And I
that's
asked
fine.
if he did it here, and he said, "So that's all fine to ask him that stuff."
Yeah, he
That was
wasn't in
all
cuffs,
before,
he wasn't under arrest.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I just want to make sure.
So I told him he was detained. So when you go back, you can tell him he's under arrest for possessing firearms without serial numbers, so that he's aware he's under arrest.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, why don't you just hang on 1 second, okay? Okay, Derek. You are under arrest, okay? For possessing firearms without serial numbers, okay?
Did you cite the statute?
Yep.
I was not aware.
Yep, I have to find it because I don't have everything memorized, okay?
I mean, if I made a mistake, then
So,
I don't believe
so my partner told me that you wanted a lawyer, so I would recommend standing by that right now and just...
I mean, I would like you to answer my
Yep.
questions if you could, but
Yep, I can find that for you here in a second, okay?
Minnesota statute.
Yep.
Okay. And I realize that ignorance of the law doesn't is.
Okay, so it's 609.667 firearms removal or alteration of serial number.
Okay, so that's where I believe that you are mistaken, because they never had a serial number in the first place, which is not illegal. I mean, this is my understanding of it.
Number 3, receives or possesses a firearm that is not identified by a serial number.
Okay. I believe that you're misinterpreting laws that are about removing or defacing serialized firearms.
Okay. So right now that's your.
I understand.
Yep. Okay. That's what's happening right now. Okay.
135 up, tried calling him about 5 more times now. No answer, phone to voicemail. He does have family. Looks like lives at 34863 Wildlife Road. Come on.
128 center.
128.
1 in custody. It's gonna be first Derek, last Hummer. Some.
Copy, Derek. 41889 will be in custody.
That was a real last name. Okay. Okay, let's look at everything. This one. Okay.
Alright, so confirm clear, because we're going to apply program transport. This one goes here. And there's no DNA. Turn it up here. So you had them all on me? Yep. Confirm clear. Here. All of the ammo can just go in the same bag.
Okay.
Confirm clear. Here. This one might not. Oh, it isn't mine. No. This one's not illegal, but we will be seizing it for the time being. Clear. One bag. But it is.
There's ammo, and then I'll take this.
And then go and you'll log into the card and flag it. It's not going to have a serial number, make, model. So if I flag it, that's fine. Andy can use it.
Sounds good.
And then I'll leave that stuff.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay.
Good.
Yep. What the heck? Oh, it don't land. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's,
Do you mind scooting over to your right a little bit?
Can I get my cell phone?
I've got it with you. Or, yep, we've got it.
And then my only other question is if I could smoke a cigarette at all.
Not right now. Nope.
Okay. Would you be able to get the pack out? I mean, I don't know. back
You're
up
not gonna
my-
be able to smoke in jail.
Okay.
One second.
120.
And that was one to jail.
And what are the charges?
Possession of unserialized firearms.
And 25 minutes.
So the process is we're going to jail. You'll be booked. And then you'll have a hearing in the morning. What day is it today?
Saturday. So I have to wait till Monday?
Yep. My partner's doing that part of it, so I do not know.
Funny because I remember talking to the police in Burnsville before and they told me about how I had 3D printed firearms and they agreed that there was nothing illegal about that. I mean, unless this is a new law within the last, pretty sure that was last summer, a year and a half ago. This isn't a new law, is it?
I do not know,
I mean,
but that's what it is right
I
now.
respect you guys, you know, I know you guys got a job to do. Keep your fun though. I don't believe
Go right from jail. 27 minutes.
So is no make a incident.
Yeah, yep, essentially. So push the call just so
Yes.
jail has the information.
Okay. And there's a way for me to do that.
Yes, absolutely. If you don't remember at all, that's fine. It's been a while since.
It has.
Yep. So you can go to update call.
135, sir.
Comments, and I'll say,
135.
I used to say case
Are you
crowd.
coming in the area? Can you try getting that rip all again, too?
If you go back, it'll say copy to RMS. So that's how you know it's already been pushed to RMS.
Okay, and then that's a case number.
Yep.
Sir, 135, call enforcement. Yep.
Do you avoid taking the interstate when you have one in custody? Or?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Derek, how do you pronounce your last name? Hammersmith. Okay. Is that German or something? Canadian.
135, sir. I'm in here. In the area, 30 minutes.
Is Michelle still with Steve?
Turn to 135.7. Code 4, 39 minutes. One further. What's going on? Good morning, in service. You attach me to 136 as well, and I copy that on this one. Okay. One track there. 135. Nobody wants to talk, including a complainant. Clearing myself here shortly. Really honest. Copy. 42 minutes.
Okay back there?
Yep. Too heavy about it, but I've been through this before, so I'm not mad at you guys. I think a mistake has been made, but
I meant temperature-wise, like that's okay? Temperature-wise, you're doing okay? I know you were wet, so I just want to make sure you're warm enough.
yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit cold.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Felony. Felony. Hi, one compliant male. Alright, go ahead and step out and then just step on the brown sewer drain there.
Sure.
You can go ahead and step inside. And then there's going to be a chair down on the left. You go ahead and pass the trash can. Yep, right there. Go ahead and take a seat. Yep. And leave it on for right now. Let me go grab some coffee.
I feel, but there's some growing pains with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
How long were you living in Rush? That's how we had a rest of the address for you.
I lived with my parents in Coon Rapids until I was 26. About maybe 4.5 now. So that was 2 years ago. Trying to think of how long I actually lived in Rush. I lived in Burnsville for like 2019. So 8 years ago would have been 2016. So I think I lived in Rush for about 2.5, 3 years.
Gotcha.
And then I've gotten arrested in 2018 for possessing 1 gram of hash oil.
Okay.
So I got put on probation when I was 2020.
Sure.
In 2020.
So did you end up getting convicted of that?
No, I had to stay adjudication because I went through probation.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
where I got my gun right back and everything.
Gotcha, that makes sense, okay. Nice. So then you've been with your parents up here for how long?
Since January. I was living in the trailer. It's a long story, but I was really unhappy with it. My friend inherited it from his dad, promised he was going to fix everything that was wrong with it. Didn't. It was a shithole. I didn't want to spend money on it. I wanted to just move.
Sure.
That was pretty difficult economically and, personal problems and everything. I got evicted in January. I had moved into, I had met a trans man 3 months before, hooking up with them, started becoming more friends, was wanting a relationship at the same time all of this was happening.
Excuse me 1 second here.
Sure.
Hey. Okay, sounds good. Yep.
Then we can put the cuffs on the front, 'cause my elbow is kind of
Yeah, you can just face away from me. I'll stand. So can you look these up at all? Yep. Yep.
From on the front or just have them up there?
You can just leave them up.
So I met a trans man in Chisago. Yeah. He started just kind of looking up at everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes still happens to go on relationship with her. When I got evicted, he agreed to let, I didn't even ask him, but he told me I could come live with him 4 days after I moved in. He took my gun and committed suicide.
Oh,
And then my parents let me move in with them.
okay. Sorry to hear that, man. That's horrible.
Yeah. I didn't see it coming. I didn't
Yeah.
know him that long.
Right.
I found out afterwards they had schizophrenia. I think that was a lot of it.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that. I don't know if I've done anything different.
Sure. Did you find him, or did somebody?
Yeah.
You did?
I knew I was getting evicted the last night. I had gotten a notice on the door that day, the day before this happened. So I was rushing to get all of my stuff out of there. He came with me to help move everything. We didn't get back till 5:30 in the morning. Fell asleep in bed with him. He's supposed to be to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was going to give him a ride to work. He woke up at 8:30, kind of confused, went out in the living room and found himself.
Jesus, dude. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So that's how I came to live with my parents.
Sure. Gotcha.
And I've appreciated it allowing me to help get back on my feet. I think, my dad was really upset about the situation. A lot of when I lived with him when I was younger, kind of threatening that I'm just gonna live off of them, not have much aspiration, and that's kind of problems. After the first couple of months where he's kind of grumpy and whatever, things have calmed down until the election happened. And then he was absolutely irate about Trump.
Sure.
Didn't say anything the first couple of days. The last couple of days, it's just been off the wall about it.
Okay.
So that's a lot of what my life is.
Sounds like a stressful living situation.
Yeah, I don't live with them.
Right. Right.
I'm not happy about it either.
Right.
I don't have much anywhere else to go though.
Sure. Are you working right now?
Yeah, I run my own business selling 3D prints. Doesn't make a lot of money. I do DoorDash part-time. I just went back to work for a full-time company. I've been working for 5 years on and off.
Okay.
Doing snow removal over the winter for them.
All right.
Selling a few things going on. I'm not super primary income, so I'm not too dependent. Thinking enough for a while, so.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Trying to do what I can to get ahead and get over it. Too much, but my understanding about these firearms is that it has never been illegal for you to create your own firearm without a serial number, as long as you don't give or sell that to anyone else.
Sure.
That is my understanding. I could be wrong. I think that if you could maybe show it to me.
Yeah.
So I can read it verbatim here if you.
That is about just moving serial
So there's
numbers,
3
but-
parts to it. So it's obliterates, removes, changes, or alters the serial number.
Okay.
Receives or possesses a firearm, the serial number or other identification of which has been obliterated, removed, changed, or altered. And the third one is receives or possesses a firearm that is not identified by a serial number.
Okay, and that I've never heard. I don't know if maybe this is some change. Or
Looks like it's been around since like '94.
Yeah, I'm into everything about guns and gun laws and everything. I know that this is the case in New York and California where you can't have serialized firearms, but I've never heard that about Minnesota.
Sure.
Like I
How
said,
do you-
I was actually talking to the Burnsville police over an incident that happened during summer of 2023, and he mentioned that I have 3D printed firearms, and
Sure.
they were like, oh, it's the worst, and anything about them being illegal.
Sure.
It's a little more complexing to me.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to say. Maybe they weren't aware of it, or maybe they were just curious more than anything.
I realize there's a possibility that I'm unaware of a law.
Yeah. Typically, how do you do your research into legal stuff like that?
A lot of it is watching YouTube videos and getting different information. Lawyers that make gun content, educational content, things like that.
Is there a Minnesota specific one?
There's like different YouTube channels that talk about different things that are happening in different states. I know the website that gets into what you can and cannot do in every specific state. What kind of ammunition could be illegal, like in New Jersey, you can't have hollow points.
Yeah.
So leave it.
Right.
I think they don't want people to get,
Right.
understand what it is.
Lack of understanding from a lot of people, would be my guess.
If I made a mistake, then I made a mistake.
Well, like you said in the car, that's what lawyers are for. We're just the first step in a long line of the process, so. Yeah, you've been totally cooperative with us.
I'm not angry at you.
Appreciate that. So was it like a 1 year for your state of adjudication, or what was the timeline on that?
I was on probation for 1 year.
Gotcha.
I want to say it was January 2020 to January 2021.
Gotcha.
Did everything I was supposed to.
Sure. Just you feel like once a month, or did they come out and test you at all?
It was during COVID.
Yeah.
So I met her once all the court proceedings were, like the last court date that I had, I met her directly after that. She told me that there was going to be an in-person meeting once every 3 months, but every time that came, they said, we're just doing phone stuff because it's COVID.
Yeah.
So, I got out pretty late during COVID.
Yeah.
You don't get in trouble for a year.
Right.
Are you drink the water at all?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. You're welcome. I didn't see anything up here.
Thank you.
Yes, so once you get through the booking process, which should be another hour or so, and then, yeah, you'll have access to the phones.
I should expect to be here till Monday.
Yeah, I would say that's, yeah, probably good to be prepared for that.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when you go on the weekend.
Yep. So you're parents moved up here from Coon Rapids?
Yep.
Okay.
I wanted to get out of the city and I wanted to find a lake on the house on the lake.
Gotcha. Where'd you grow up?
For 21 years in Coon Rapids and spent the first 4.5 years of my life in Iowa.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Once the jail comes up, stuff we can get you something for sure. What kind of channels do you like to watch on YouTube?
And there's a lot of different content from like entertainment stuff. You watch YouTube at all? So like I'm a ranch owned operator,
Yeah.
ballistics, all those guys.
Yeah.
As far as more of the educational stuff, USCCA, Washington Gun Law. Some of them I don't specifically remember the name, but
Sure. Do you watch James Reeves at all?
yeah, it's a TFB TV.
Yeah, he's an attorney down south. Yeah, one of my buddies turned me on to him recently, and it's entertaining for sure. And educational, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Got a very dry sense of humor, so I
Derek, your birthday is 4/18/89, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How's it going?
Not bad, how are you?
Struggling.
Okay.
First night in for like 2 months. They completely updated everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Half the stuff works.
Yeah.
Half doesn't.
Of course.
Do you have any major medical conditions?
I'm allergic to, I believe it's called augmentin.
Okay, we'll get to that. Are you super at all?
No.
You know that now.
No.
Let's take a deep breath in. Tight seal around the straw. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, good. Do you have a belt on or jewelry or anything?
Yeah.
Can I take your belt off for me, please? Fancy belt is that?
Got those from with the people holsters.
Oh,
Very stiff.
it looks like. Cord buckled on.
I'm in your spot.
Unless you want to stand there and make things awkward.
I'll pass.
Alright, you have the same face up. Yeah.
Okay, so quick question. I don't understand this part. We have to.
Search the jeans first.
Oh,
Once
Yeah,
I
that's
get
for
the
the gist
pockets
stuff.
flanked here in a second, I'll let
but I'm supposed to fill this out, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But just that section about contacting, yeah, that's not for us.
Okay.
You can actually delete that date
coin
there
pouch.
too.
This?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
that
I
one.
see. Okay. I don't know how in depth this needs to be, but I just basically did that. We
Yeah.
went to this address. Yeah. Yep. And I need to. Do you remember how many firearms? Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the back?
So there's 3 handguns and the rifle that fit the statute. And there was the.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I need to correct the numbers there.
You put your hands next to the wall now. You want to step off your feet.
Where did that come from?
Who did the bath search on it?
Couple people.
Couple.
We'll write an email.
I suppose that might be a little of an issue, huh? Ammo getting in here.
It's happened before.
Come over here.
You can just set it there. That'll be just a second. $418.89, right?
Yes.
Looks good. The only thing I would add is we took it off. Parts did not have serial numbers, and something to the effect that we weren't able to locate any serial numbers on the guns.
And then the second page is for them too.
Yeah, you can fill out his information, but then everything
Okay.
else you can
Yeah.
So now you step inside here. There's like a white box in it now. Stand inside that. And change the sign.